Malacanang hints at a major revamp in the Health Service Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines following the firing of 2 of its officials. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
Malacanang announces on Monday the dismissal of 2 officials of the Villamor Medical Center Health Service Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Brigadier General Edwin Leo Torrelavega, Commander of Villamor Medical Center AFP Health Service Command, and Colonel Antonio Punsalan, Commander of Villamor Medical Center, Chiefs of Management and Fiscal Office, are allegedly involved in the 1.491 million pesos worth of ghost deliveries, questionable transactions, and anomalous purchase of medical equipment. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque says this report angered President Rodrigo Duterte. The chief executive allocated 50 million pesos worth of monthly fund for the medical assistance of the soldiers, which he believes may likely be pocketed by the corrupt officials. The president immediately ordered the said officials' dismissal and have them undergo court-martial proceedings.
He was personally aggravated when the information on corruption was confirmed in Viluna. Personally aggravated and angered.
Roque reveals a whistleblower divulged about the corruption in the AFP Medical Center. The Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission immediately launched a probe, as well as AFP Chief of Staff General Carlito Galvez. Malacanang also believes that a lot of officials and employees in the health service of AFP and Villamor Medical Center will be replaced. The palace explains this is following information that the said military officials, as well as around 20 other high-ranking officials and employees of the Logistics Office of AFP Health Service, are involved in hundreds of millions worth of anomalous transactions.
According to the Chief of Staff, and I had a conversation with him, hundreds of millions of pesos. Apparently, it's a conspiracy. It was institutional corruption in Viluna.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Marikina evacuees are now in a much better state compared to before, although some residents have faced serious challenges. Thio will tell us why.
Orlando Oña is one of the residents from San Mateo, Rizal, whose temporary self-made shelter is located along the highway. Aside from few light furniture, Oña was lucky enough to also being able to bring with him his breeding pigs. But it was unfortunate for Rheena Messina, 67 years old, as she and her sister wasn't able to save anything other than what they were wearing.
Mabilis! Akalain namin tataas ba yun? Dati hanggang flooring lang namin, hanggang bubong na.
At the Marikina City, evacuees from the affected barangays are now enjoying a more comfortable modular tents that give them privacy. This is the first time that the LGU of Marikina City upgraded their evacuation centers. Aside from the classrooms, the modular tents will be the temporary shelters of the evacuees in the coming days for those who choose to stay while waiting for the clearance from the LGU of Marikina City that they can safely go back to their respective houses. Supplies of clean water, food, medical kits, and other important supplies are always ready for delivery.
Ayos naman po. Halos sumusobra na nga po sa amin minsan yung bigay ng mga tumutulong sa amin.
While these evacuees are well taken care of, residents from Barangay Nangka are giving their best efforts to recover from the more than 5 feet high water that flooded the area. Residents are still having difficulty treading the thick mud as they go around their neighborhood. 2009, during the monsoon rains in Undoy, when the residents here in Barangay Nangka experienced and last saw this kind of devastating situation. And now residents here are facing great challenge on how to start to clean up these mountains of trashes and thick muds. Thio, UNTV News and Rescue, Marikina City.
Meanwhile, the prices of vegetables and other products in some markets in Quezon City have increased following days of non-stop rains. Joanano tells us why.
Prices of highland vegetables in several public markets have noticeably increased following days of heavy downpour. In Epacumart and Litex Market in Quezon City, the prices of cabbage, carrots, and coyote per kilogram went up by 10 to 30 pesos. The same were noted in the prices of broccoli, peche baguio, and potato. A 20 peso increase was also observed in the prices of bitter gourd, eggplant, squash, and string beans, as well as tomatoes and onions. According to vegetable retailers, the price adjustment is due to the effect of monsoon rains, making it difficult for vegetables to be packed and transported to markets.
Sabi nila Mahirap daw kumuha ng gulay kasi wala ng ulang malakas. Mahirap magluwas dito sa Maynila.
Meat and fish vendors also note a 25 to 50 peso increase in the prices per kilogram of fish, pork, and dressed chicken, which they blame for the slow sales.
Wala namimili, pa isa-isa. Kaya lang sila bibili pagka mababa na raw.
The incessant rains have also caused some areas to declare a state of calamity due to flooding. Under this declaration, a 60-day price freeze on basic and essential goods is automatically enforced, citing Republic Act 7581 or the Price Act of 1992. According to the Philippine National Police, they will help enforce the price freeze and arrest the profiteers and hoarders taking advantage of the situation.
Kung sila ay lalabas, pwede namin silang samahan para maiwasan natin yung profiteering dito at saka yung sobrang pagtaas ng mga presyo.
Among the areas placed under a state of calamity are Marikina, Olongapo, Balanga, some municipalities in Bataan, Pangasinan, Nueva Ecija, Interlock, and the entire province of Cavite. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Another oil price hike looms this week as fuel prices continue to surge in the world market. The price of gasoline may go up by 15 centavos per liter, 25 centavos for diesel, while kerosene prices might increase by 5 centavos. The new fuel price adjustment will take effect on Tuesday. House leaders assure there will be no reenacted budget for next year, despite the suspension of the budget briefing. Grace Casin tells us why.
House Majority Leader Rolando Andaya on Monday assures that the lower house will pass the 2019 proposed national budget on time, amid the issues between the House of Representatives and the Department of Budget and Management. Some lawmakers previously warned of having a reenacted budget for 2019 if DBM fails to return the proposed appropriations to obligation-based system. A reenacted budget means that the government expenditure for 2019 will be funded by the same amount and within the same allocations as those provided in the 2018 approved budget.
Let me just clarify that there will be no reenacted budget scenario. We are not moving towards that.
The lower house has already suspended the budget briefing today after demanding that the DBM restore all the budget cuts it made under the proposed cash-based budget system. DBM slashed budget for the construction of new school buildings, more than 100,000 flood control projects, barangay health centers, and fund for the free college education for the second semester.
Akala ko ba may train tayo na nagsasabing lalaki ang kita natin? O asan na yung karagdagang kita na yun?
Malacanang was surprised over the move of the lower house to suspend the budget briefing, fearing it might lead to the budget being reenacted.
What will happen to their pet projects, because under a reenacted budget, it is Malacanang that will determine which budgets will be implemented.
Okay.
I don't think they want that.
The Senate also postponed its parallel hearings on the 2019 budget pending resolution of the issue.
Wala pang hearing muna this week. We'll have to wait for the announcement of the chairman of the Committee on Finance.
As agreed by everyone, was that we follow the Constitution. And simply put, it's that the appropriation measure should come from the House. So we let them decide.
But Senator Ralph Recto believes the Senate should continue examining the 2019 budget to discover and remedy its flaws. Grace Casin, UNTV, News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
The National Electrification Administration may not be able to hit its target to put up electric grids in all of the country's rural areas by 2022. Nel Maribuhok tells us why.
The Senate Committee on Energy presses the National Electrification Administration to accelerate the establishment of power grids in the rural areas. During a hearing earlier, the Senate panel also advised the agency to hasten the putting up of power generating plants to meet the deadline set in 2022 for the total electrification of the countryside. But according to NEA Administrator Edgardo Masongsong, this target may not be reached because of low budget. NEA's proposed 2019 1.6 billion peso budget for its rural electrification program has been slashed to 1.1 billion under the cash-based budget system being pushed by the Department of Budget and Management.
So we'll only be able to energize 775 CTUs
Some senators also agreed that NEA's projects would suffer because of the reduced fund.
Maganda naman ho yung plano nila. Ang tanong, napopondohan po ba ito?
About 2.7 million Filipino households still do not have power lines, 1.5 million of which are in Mindanao. According to Committee Chairman Sherwin Gatchalian, some 300 CTOs will be sacrificed in the electrification projects for the next year if the said proposed budget will proceed. He also suggests for the government to tap the private sector to solve the backlogs.
For example, marami tayong mga isla, marami tayong mga remote areas na hindi na maabot ng kable, no, ng electric wires. So, yung private sector na magpapatayo ng tinatawag nating microgrid.
The Department of Energy, meanwhile, assures it is now looking for ways to solve the issue in the electrification projects.
Then, it's the EO, our request through the executive, i-address pa ba yung subsidy to proceed? Or, if not, shall we now take in the private sector to do the concept?
It also created the task force to ensure power access for communities that are yet to be linked up to distribution utilities and electric cooperatives. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
An election watchdog is asking the Senate to set another hearing to continue the investigation on the alleged election fraud. Victor Cosare tells us why.
If given another chance to prove that fraud in the automated election was committed, Attorney Glenn Chong of Tanggulang Demokrasya will present his evidence. In the program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon, the former representative of Biliran detailed other arguments in his expose that he was not able to present in the Senate in 2010. One of this is the equal sharing trend of candidates' votes, such as of the senators, that is much different compared to the graph of the supposed true election results.
Let's say si Kuya Daniel Razon ay may fixed percentage na 5%. So bawat pasok po ng resulta, no matter how big or small is the result, 5% kayo palagi. Ako naman, 3%. Example. So sa graph, makikita mo, si Kuya Daniel Razon, 5% ng boto, ako 3%. Dito ko sa baba.
Kaya nga, doon, little tao, ma-identify ninyo na ako ang nakikinabang kasi 5% ako, hindi ba?
Yes.
At 3% lang kayo.
Yes.
O doon sa pinag-aralan ninyo, sino ho nakinabang? Doon sa mas mataas at sino mas mababa?
Ang number one ho doon, sir, si Drilon. Si Senator Drilon. So whenever he goes up, everybody goes up. Whenever he plateaus, everybody plateaus. So whenever he dive din sila lahat.
Chong also reiterated that there was an early transmission of votes during the past automated elections, and even the vote received by the transparency server and the central server of COMELEC are not the same.
So in 145 PICOS machines, meron na po siyang laman na 4,114 ballots before election day.
Ang ibig niyo sabihin, may nakaboto na bago pa mag-election?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I can point that out.
Paano niyo patutunayan na may nakaboto na bago pa mag-eleksyon?
Sa audit log po ng bawat makina, sir, ng PICOS. The audit log. The log is a detailed list of all the transactions that happen within the machine.
Chong exposed in the program that a senator could confirm his allegations.
Ano ang ibig sabihin na inaamin nila that there was indeed fraud?
Yes.
At yun ay ginawa sa executive session.
It was in an executive session.
At pagka-executive session ay hindi pwedeng ilabas dahil
hindi
executive
po pwede.
session.
Yes, sir.
At hindi rin pwedeng sabihin ng kahit na sino, even yung naka-witness na senador.
Ay di, sinabi niya sa akin.
Yes,
and I will take the risk.
Yes, ibig yes, sabihin, sinabi niya sa inyo, pero hindi ho dapat sabihin sa inyo.
Well, that is his risk, sir. And I'm taking the risk by exposing it to the public.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Hindi naman ho yan, sigurado naman kung tatanggihan kayo ng senador na yon.
Well,
o ilalaglag kayo ng senador na yon.
Kung ilalaglag niya ako, then so be it.
The lawyer said the fraud will not be able to take place without the collusion between COMELEC and Smartmatic. He said that the only way to solve the issue is to open COMELEC's system and ask its executive director who runs the elections.
Sino ho ba yan?
Si Attorney Jose Tolentino.
So, si Attorney Tolentino,
yes, sir.
Ang unan yung suspect?
Siya yung tatanungin ko. Not in the sense na suspect, but tatanungin ko talaga siya. Gusto ko, I would like to put him on the spot.
Chong promised that if he would be pressured in the hearing, he will tell who the senator that can attest to the fraud is.
Don't you think that this will give more pressure to them kung may papangalanan kayong isa sa mga kasama nila? And even these people will also be at least pressured
na to call for another hearing because sinasaklit na ninyo yung mga nasa Senado.
Sir, I will say it
You're a
only
lawyer.
in the hearing.
You're a lawyer attorney, and I
Yes.
suppose if I will be sitting in a witness stand, you will also be doing the same to me.
Yeah, you're putting me in the witness stand.
Hindi. Hindi.
Ay, ganito na lang.
Opo.
I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
So,
galing ni Kuya Daniela. Bilib ako sa'yo.
Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Department of Health reports that 1 out of 3 Filipino children have eye disorders because of excessive use of gadgets. Experts remind their children to give their children 1 hour of physical activities daily. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
The Department of Health is alarmed that Filipinos who need to wear eyeglasses gets younger and younger. According to the DOH, current eye disorders in the Philippines cannot just be linked to genetic disorder. It appears in DOH study that 1 out of 3 Filipino children is nearsighted because of excessive use of gadgets. According to DOH Undersecretary Eric Domingo, children nowadays are more exposed to cell phones, tablets, desktops, and laptops rather than physical activities.
Pero nakita natin ngayon parang nagiging nagiging epidemic proportion siya kasi especially in the most developed countries, pero kasama na rin mga syudad, katulad ng Metro Manila. For example, ang rate ngayon ng error of refraction o yung myopia or nearsightedness sa bata, umaabot na ng 30%. So ang taas-taas na.
Nearsightedness is an error of refraction in the eyes in which objects are clear when near and blurred when far. The World Health Organization considers it epidemic, though it is not infectious because of the increasing number of eye disorder cases in the country.
Yun ang tawag ng WHO, no? Pero alarming talaga yung trend ng pagtaas, no? Nagiging nearsighted ang mga tao.
DOH and pedia ophthalmologists remind parents not to let gadgets serve as babysitters of their children. It is better, experts say, to give their children a 1 hour break of physical activities daily. They should also allow their kids to play outdoors instead of watching video games indoors.
Ang mga bata ngayon, puro malapit na lang ang tinitingnan, cellphone, tablet, TV, computer, kaya hindi rin nagde-develop na siguro normally yung kanilang mga mata. Kailangan ang bata meron siyang at least 1 hour a day na outdoor activity. Parang ang nakikita na yung exposure to sunlight also improves development of the eyes.
The WHO and DOH intensified their campaign for a healthy vision for Filipinos this August, as it is Sight Saving Month. Fora and discussions with parents in providing children with proper eye care will also be conducted. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Breakthrough and Milestones Productions International, or BMPI, welcomes Plethora and Brads as new talents. Leslie Longboan will tell us why.
Plethora and Brads are now officially part of the Breakthrough and Milestones Productions International, or BMPI family. The two bands signed a 5-year contract under BMPI Talent Center.
We believe in their talent. We believe that they're one of the groups today that will be able to make a difference in the performing stage.
Brads is composed of brothers JC, Chris, and Sean Nava. Meanwhile, Plethora and members Andrew Isaguirre, Jesser Pelio, Aldrin Isaguirre, and LJ Herrera have been together since their high school days. Plethora and Brads are positive for the growth of their careers under their new talent management.
Looking forward po for more projects, and syempre sana God willing makagawa kami ng isang song na mag-hit din na mapapasaya namin syempre yung mga kapwa namin.
Maasahan nila yung mas malalim naming dedication, na maka-create ng good music kasi may spirit ng brotherhood.
Leslie Lomboan, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Nueva Ecija Court has dismissed the murder case filed against former Makabayan lawmakers for insufficient evidence. In a decision made public Monday, The Palayan City Regional Trial Court also quashed the arrest warrant issued against former Bayan Muna Party List Representatives Satur Ocampo and Teddy Casino, anak Pawis Party List Representative Rafael Mariano, and former Gabriela Representative Liza Masa, who currently sits as the National Anti-Poverty Commission Chief. The camps of the said former lawmakers welcomed the dismissal of the case, which they described as trumped up.